Hello there, Lake County Library. This is Christy Lewis from the Lakeport branch, and today we're going to be talking about more books that have been lost in the stacks. In case you missed it, there was a previous Lost in the Stacks video that we just recently put out. This is from January's list of Lost in the Stacks books that have never been checked out, so they can use some love. If any of them sound good to you, you can order them for free down below. You can order lots of books for free down below, and there's also lots of really cool digital resources available to you as well. So definitely make sure to check out the links down below in the description. We have all the book titles and author names ready to copy and paste into the catalog, also linked down below. So first of all, we have Learning to Die in the Anthropocene by Scranton. The subtitle of this nonfiction book is Reflections on the End of a Civilization. Coming home from the war in Iraq, U.S. Army Private Roy Scranton thought that he'd left the world of strife behind. Then he watched as new calamities struck America. Hurricane Katrina, Superstorm Sandy, mega drought, the shock and awe of global warming. Rising seas, spiking temperatures, and extreme weather imperil global infrastructure, crops, and water supplies. And the warmer, wetter, more chaotic world that we now live in, the Anthropocene, demands a radical new vision of human life. In Learning to Die in the Anthropocene, Roy Scranton is responding to climate change with a combination of memoir, reportage, philosophy, and Zen wisdom, and it expands on his influential New York Times essay, which was the #1 most emailed article the day it appeared, and it was selected for Best American Science and Nature Writing in 2014. Reviewers have called this book fierce, provocative, lucid, honest, wise, and ultimately hopeful. Learning to Die in the Anthropocene is also available on ebook, and it was published by City Lights Publishers in 2015. Next, we have Star Wars: The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray, and this is book 3 of 4 of the Star Wars The High Republic series, and it was editor's pick for best science fiction and fantasy. So let's look at book 1 so that we don't spoil the later books. So book 1 is called Light of the Jedi, and it was also an editor's pick for best science fiction and fantasy, and it was a #1 New York Times bestseller. Long before the First Order, before the Empire, and before even the Phantom Menace, Jedi lit the way for the galaxy and the High Republic. It was a golden age, and peace reigned. But when a shocking catastrophe in hyperspace tears a ship to pieces, the flurry of shrapnel emerging from the disaster threatens an entire system. The Jedi race to the scene, but the scope of the emergence is enough even to push the Jedi to their limits. The Jedi must trust in the Force to see them through a day in which a single mistake could cost billions of lives. But the hyperspace disaster is far more sinister than the Jedi could ever suspect. So if Star Wars: The Fallen Star sounds good to you, you can order it for free down below. It's also available on ebook and audiobook, and it was published by Random House Worlds in 2022. Next we have How to Take Over the World by Ryan North. The subtitle of this one is Practical Schemes and Scientific Solutions for the Aspiring Supervillain, and it was named a Best Nonfiction of the Year by Esquire, and it's recommended to comic book fans. Taking over the world, it's a lot of work. Any supervillain is bound to have questions. What zany heist will fund my wildly ambitious plans? How do I control the weather, destroy the internet, and never ever die? Best-selling author and award-winning comics writer Ryan North has the answers. In How to Take Over the World, he details a number of outlandishly villainous schemes that harness the potential of today's most advanced technologies. You don't have to be a criminal mastermind to share a supervillain's interest in cutting-edge science and technology. This sly guide to some of the greatest threats facing humanity accessibly explores emerging techniques to extend human lifespans, combat cyber-terrorism, communicate across millennia, and finally, make Jurassic Park a reality. How to Take Over the World by Ryan North was published by Riverhead Books in 2022, and it's also available on ebook and audiobook. Next we have Keep You Close by Karen Cleveland. This was editor's pick for best mystery thriller and suspense from the New York Times best-selling author of Need to Know. And there was a chilling quote from the book. It was in the description. Listen to this. A strange sensation runs through me. A feeling that I don't know this person in front of me, even though he matters more to me than anyone ever has. Sounds intense. So we're following Stephanie Maddox here, who is working her dream job in the FBI, but she's afraid that she has sacrificed the most important thing in order to get that job, which would be a close relationship with her teenage son, Zachary. As a single parent, Steph has missed a lot of school events, birthdays, and vacations with her boy. One day while straightening her son's room, Steph is shaken to discover a gun in his closet, a loaded gun. Then comes a knock at her front door, a colleague on the domestic terrorism squad who utters 3 devastating words. It's about Zachary. If Keep You Close sounds like something you want to check out, you can get it for free down below. It's also available on audiobook and in large type, and it was published by Ballantine Books in 2019. And finally, we have For the Throne by Hannah Whitten. This is book 2 of 2 of the Wilderwood series, and it was editor's pick for best science fiction and fantasy. And let's talk about book 1 here so that we don't spoil book 2. Book 1 is called For the Wolf, and it was also editor's pick for best science fiction and fantasy, and it was an instant New York Times bestseller and a TikTok and word of mouth sensation. For the Throne is a dark romantic debut fantasy about a young woman named Red, who, as the only second daughter born in centuries, Red has one purpose: to be sacrificed to the wolf in the wood, in the hope that he'll return the world's captured god. Red is almost relieved to go, because plagued by a dangerous power she can't control, at least she knows that in the Wilderwood, she can't hurt those she loves again. But the legends lie. The wolf is a man, not a monster. Her magic is a calling, not a curse. And if she doesn't learn how to use her magic, the monsters the gods have become will swallow the Wilderwood and her world whole. So that was book 1 for the wolf in the Wilderwood series. If that or book 2 sound like something you would like to get a hold of, you can order either of them for free down below. For the Throne, book 2 is also available on ebook and audiobook, and it's published by Orbit in 2022. That is it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this book haul of Lost in the Stacks books. I hope that you find a new gem in the stacks. Let us know down below if you have any questions or if you order any of these books, because we love to hear from you. Talk to you next time. Take care.